what's doing, guys? We're back with another fresh vinyl review, and today we're doing a super articulated, brand new SH Monster Arts figure. We're doing the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2001. Boom! Yeah, that's right. Still collecting SH Monster Arts here, people. So let's look at the box real quick before we get to looking at the figure. Box is typical SH Monster Arts standard box. Gone away they did with the window display here, so you got Godzilla on the front. That's a picture of the figure, actually. Okay, all the basic information right there, like everybody knows, blah, blah, blah. You got your poses and crazy stuff on the back. You know, pretty much what we've seen on many of the SH Monster Arts boxes over the past 2 years or so, give or take. So, this figure was released in, early July 2016. That's the Japanese street date, so at the time of this recording, people that are going to get it in the United States, you have to wait till Bluefin releases it in, September, I think it is? Bam! Okay, but I have mine imported. Okay, so that's what's up. So let's go look at the figure. We're going to get right down into this. Bam! Okay, here we go. So, we're looking at the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2001. Figure was just released, like we just said, in the beginning of July 2016. So, anything fall off? Let's get off right off the bat. So, I can tell you right now, when I took this out of the box, this little piece of the tail popped off. Not a big deal. You got to expect this. This is what happens, people, when you have ball joints. Stuff, you bend it far enough, it will pop off. If I bend the tail far enough, that's going to pop off too. But while I'm doing that, let's look at the articulation. So how hard can I play with this? Anything going to fall off? You know, you got to go rough on it because, you know, you're going to bash them around and all kinds of crazy stuff because we got to play with them, right? No, I'm not going to play with them. We're just going to probably put in some neat poses or whatever. Okay, so that's the articulation of the tail. You know, you got all kinds of, you know, mobility here. You know, you rear him up and down. I'm trying to do this without showing too much. Oh, no, his head fell off. See, it happens. You see how hard I was doing it? Not a big deal. Don't sit there and say, oh, that shouldn't happen. Of course it's going to happen. That's what happens when you got ball joints, okay? Get it. Let's get that clear and right out of the way. Not a big deal. It just pops right back in. Not a problem, okay? But lots of mobility. The mouth opens up. He closes. You turn it that way. You turn it that way. Okay? We all know this with SH Monster Arts. You know, the articulation, it's pretty good. You know, all kinds of different poses you can do. You can make him swim. You kick his legs back. Kick his head up. Whatever. Make him do the Macarena. Okay? So, let's talk about some of the things that, you know, have been common problems with SH Monster Arts. Is, you know, sometimes a sculpt, you get these crazy gaps and whatnot. This figure, it's done very, very well. There are really no distracting gaps. If I had to say anything that looks like a gap, it's just around the thighs, but it is not very distracting at all. Of course, you know, the one that everybody loves complaining about is the dorsal plate gap. People, you want your articulated figures to do move and all that stuff, you know, you're going to have gaps in some places. So, if you want Godzilla standing up like that, no gap. If you want to move him forward, you're going to have a gap here, okay? Is it a big deal? No, it's not. Just stop complaining about it, okay? Not a big deal. But the figure itself, it's great. It is sculpted by Yuji Sakai, as we know, who's been working on the SH Monster Arts line. And the figure, it's just beautiful. Yeah, it is beautiful. Sculpted. Oh, I think this is probably one of the most detailed figures to date. But it's great. It's great looking. I love it. Articulation's good. The paint job is good. Most of the paint job, it's in charcoal gray. The dorsal plates have some subtle highlights on the tips of the dorsal plates, so that looks good. Okay? Toenails, nails on the feet, all done in a dark, lightish, well, not dark, light gray, just to accent those. The eyes, look at the eyes, man. Those are great. Just that typical, that ghost-like eye that you would expect for the GMK. What he was, sorry, I just hit the mic with his tail. Bad Goji, bad! Sorry for yelling. Had a coffee, what'd you expect? Okay? So, detail is good. Everything is sculpted, beautiful, as you would expect with SH Monster Arts, coming from Yuji Sakai. So, let's talk about the price. I ordered this from Japan for about, it was just about $100 before shipping. So, why so much? This is something that I'm going to talk about when I do my comparison with this SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2001 and the NECA Nika, however you pronounce it, Godzilla 2001 that's coming. We're going to do a little comparison after I do my review on the NECA version, okay? So, couple things to think about real quick. SH Monster Arts, it's a premium figure. You get more points of articulation, and it's sculpted by Yuji Sakai. Sorry, people. If you don't know this, let me educate you a little bit. Not a big deal. But Yuji Sakai, he's a premium kit builder. He has been sculpting Godzilla kits and, other things. In our world, we know him for sculpting Godzilla stuff. But he's a premium sculptor. He is top of the line when it comes to sculpting Godzilla stuff. He's done Bandai he's done some Bandai stuff. Has he? Bandai stuff? Wow. I'm having a brain fart. I don't think he's done any Bandai, actually. But he's done SH Monster Arts. He's done X Plus. He's done Band Presto. He's done soft vinyl kits, resin vinyl kits. He's done the big guy Kyoto that I'm waiting to get built in sometime not too distant future. Okay, so he is a premium kit builder. So when you buy a figure that is by Yuji Sakai, you're going to pay premium. You're paying a little bit more money, okay? So enough about that. We'll save that for my comparison with the NECA. And, we're not going to bash NECA, okay? I want to point out the differences in both figures, okay? So we'll save that for then. But this figure is beautiful. I love it. It actually stands a little bit taller than the other figures in the SH Monster Art line, or just a little bit. I don't have any other SH Monster Arts out right now, but I do have a wonderful statue of this ass clown right here to do a little comparison. He stands about 8 inches tall, and, so there you go. You got Godzilla 2001 versus this moron here. Okay? So, it's a good size. Boom. What else can I say? You're going to love it for those guys that are getting it. I will say, I was starting to lose some steam with the SH Monster Arts line because, there wasn't really any big releases in a while since Mecha King Ghidorah. A couple reissues and whatnot. So I was like, oh man, maybe I'm going to get out of line. But no, this figure reminds me why I do love the SH Monster Arts line. You guys will see that when you get your hands on it. And at the time of this recording, we got Godzilla 54 coming, and we got a Shin Godzilla coming. So we got some cool things coming out, new to the line. I don't know nothing about any reissues at the moment. Oh yeah, there's a couple reissues coming, but whatever. So that's my review. Make sure you check out Diego Doom's in-depth review of this figure. He goes into all the fine details on this figure. So check that out if you haven't watched it already. And I will see you on my next Fresh Vinyl review. Bam!